Hello and good morning. Tuesday, May 11th. Well, more hypocrisy. I find it staggering. I know these adjectives that I use all the time. Kamala Harris, celebrating Freedom of Press Day, First Amendment rights. What a hypocrite. What a frickin' hypocrite. Anybody going to call her out? Some progressives on YouTube have called her out on this. We are, when I say we, the United States is trying to extradite Julian Assange for espionage charges, because he uncovered war crimes. WikiLeaks published documents and video clips of the United States military committing war crimes. So of course we're going to go after the messenger because he has embarrassed the government. It's a big embarrassment. That's why a lot of this stuff has been classified, is to keep from embarrassing the perpetrators. So much for freedom of press, so much for freedom of speech. Then Edward Snowden, same thing. He uncovered that the government was lying. James Clapper, under oath in front of Congress, lied. That's a felony. That is how presidents get impeached. Remember Clinton? Lying about a blowjob? When they impeach him, and James Clapper can adamantly declare that the NSA does not knowingly, I guess that was his way out, does not save and compile phone calls and text messages and email records of the American people. So he uncovered that, gave that information to Glenn Greenwald. We are in a fascist country when the government is shutting down dissent and voices that are trying to tell the truth to the American people of what's really going on in their name. And the government goes after them with some trumped up charges. Anyway. Trumped up charges. Espionage. Well, Obama helped set those precedents because the Obama administration with Joe Biden as the VP, they went after reporters, they went after anybody that was uncovering anything classified. I just found out that JFK, all the information, all the investigations that were done about JFK were sealed for 99 years. Why? Why is that information sealed for 99 years? You have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, why would the government seal that information for 99 years? And there's only one answer. Because they don't want the American people to know what really happened. And why is that? Because the government was up to some nefarious activities. So anyway, it made me sick to my stomach when Kamala Harris got up there and was celebrating our wonderful institution of freedom of press. What a load of garbage. What a pile of garbage. Anyway, it's just another chapter in a horrible book. We're going down the toilet. It's staggering. It really, really is staggering. The hypocrisy. And the American people are like, oh, well, I guess he committed espionage, I've heard it from people. He's not a real journalist. Bullshit, he's not a real journalist. He has been more accurate than any journalist from the New York Times or any of these other scumbags. Wow. But boy, if I was to say, Russia, they meddled in our election, oh my God, they were on Trump's side, and the Trump administration colluded with the Russians. Look into that information that came out about that and what they did. They spent $4,500 on Facebook running. Half of the ads weren't even had anything to do with the election. It's bullshit. It's made up by Hillary Clinton and John Podesta. It's made up bullshit. The Clintons, they were digging up dirt on Trump. They were coming up with anything they could find. The P-tape. Robert Steele and his bullshit. The dossier. Oh my God. How do I know the truth and so many Americans don't? How is that possible? Well, I'll tell you how it's possible. Because I studied American history, and I've studied how these things work, and I've studied about false flag operations and how the U.S. military and the government made up false flag operations to get us into wars and situations that the American people would never go for unless we have things like a 9/11. 9/11 was an inside job. The Saudis were involved, and that has been proven in court. Building 7, most people don't even know that a third building collapsed at 5 o'clock that day. And if you watch the video of that building collapsing, that is classic demolition. Classic. And that cannot be done in one day. Cannot. The main structure of that building was taken out by thermite. And those are facts. And if you don't like it and you think, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, well, the bullshit that they're trying to shove down our throats about 9/11, that's the conspiracy theory. That, 17 of the 19 hijackers were Saudis. And they just happened to find that guy's passport laying on the street in New York. God, how gullible the American people are. And so many people went along with it because they cannot accept that they're psychopaths running the government. They can't accept that. Oh, the United States government would never do that. Really? Never? Do you know anything about psychopaths and sociopaths? Look it up. Study about a psychopath. They will do whatever they have to do to get the results that they want. They will lie. They will cheat. They will steal. They will kill to get their way. And that is who is running the situation. Another amazing story. Liz Cheney, the daughter of the guy that orchestrated the biggest lie of all, 9/11, and they're trying to talk about how Trump and the big lie about voter fraud. Well, there was voter fraud. It may not be proven that Dominion had anything to do with it. I've been researching about Dominion, and it could have been an inside job. Once again, it's possible. It's alleged. But look at what they did to Bernie Sanders. Look at that report that came out. I think it is either in Vanity Fair or the Atlantic Monthly, about how that the Democrat Party and the DNC manipulated the media manipulated the media, fed them false information to mislead the American population and to withhold information about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden so that he would win the election. Now, if that's not voter fraud and manipulation, I don't know what is. So when you say it's completely unfounded, bullshit. They even said it. They wrote in the article about how they turned the election around and the things that they did. They ran an operation. And Facebook donated, $300 million? They ran an operation to steal the election. However they did it. We don't know exactly how they did it with the Dominion machines, the Dominion and Smartmatic. We don't know exactly how they did it, and they could have done it that way, but we know they manipulated the media. And we know that CNN and MSNBC are owned by the Democratic Party and the elite, the oligarchy. And they will put out whatever they have to do. Look what New York Times did in the run-up to the Iraq War. They were printing bullshit from the government about lies about Iraq and the things that was going on. They lied in their newspaper about what was really going on to get the American people to back the war. That's called a false flag operation. So, American people, my friends and neighbors, read some history and find out what really went on here. How we ran up to the Vietnam War. What was going on in the Vietnam War. How the CIA was running heroin from Vietnam and putting the bags of heroin in the body bags of the dead soldiers coming back from Vietnam. These things happened. They've admitted it. So this whole thing that a conspiracy theorist is somehow a wacko. Think of yourself as a conspiracy factist, because these are facts, and the Earth is not flat now. We know that it's a sphere, and we know that it travels around the sun, and we know that all the planets travel around the sun. 400 years ago, you could have been burned at the stake for saying that. So, the majority typically is not correct. It's usually some very intelligent minds that figure out things, and they happen to be in the minority in the beginning, and eventually they find out after who knows how many years, oh, they were right. Oops. So anyway, that's my rant for the day. It's sickening. It's sickening, Liz Cheney. It's sickening, her pushing the big lie of Trump. I don't like Trump. He wasn't very good. But to make up all this bullshit, to make the American population fear this guy as some kind of new Mussolini or Hitler, give me a freaking break. The Democratic Party is pushing rounding up domestic terrorists. What's a domestic terrorist? An extremist. What's an American extremist? What is that? Describe it to me in detail. Explain it to me. That is a political weapon to bludgeon the American population into submission to go along with the oligarchy. That's what it is. Plain and simple. And if you can't see that, and you can't see that our First Amendment rights are being taken away from us, then you are blind. So anyway, it's Tuesday. Unbelievable. All right, well anyway, I gotta go. Signing off. Peace.